Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and welcome to the assembly video for our Tuneful treat box. This is the coordinating freebie to go along with our Records Rock bundle, which we just released. If you missed that, I've got a little glimpse of it here. But this is perfect if you are maybe throwing a party and you want to make some little party favors. These boxes go together very quick, and you can see here in front of me I have the two main pieces of the box. And we're just going to jump right in here. This is actually probably something great to do with kids because it is a very simple. So just make sure that you pre-fold everything. You'll notice that in this version, I'm actually using solid score lines. We do include both solid scored and perforated. And we're going to begin by applying glue to this large tab here. And what I like to do is spread that glue out to the very edge of the tab just to make sure that everything looks nice and seamless. We'll take the other half and line it up. Take a look at this horizontal score here. There's also a tab here. You want to keep these two lines lined up when you put this down, right up to the very fold. You don't want to cross over it. Then we'll take this and fold it over on itself. And one thing you can do, just to kind of gauge how well you're doing with alignment, you'll see this tab here. We'll pull it back just so you can see the one behind it. This angle and this angle are the same. So if they're sitting right on top of each other perfectly, you know that you have it aligned perfectly, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna close this up. We'll take and apply glue to this tab here. And we'll do the same thing. If you're not comfortable using your finger to spread the glue out, you can use a scrap piece of paper or a little craft brush. I just like to use my finger, wipe it off on a little sponge that I have underneath my desk, and just keep moving. I feel like you have a lot more control using your finger, obviously. It's just an extension of yourself instead of having to use another tool, okay? You should be able to fold it both ways like this, and it should sit flat, and that's another indicator that you've got it perfectly aligned. Now we'll take these three tabs and fold them in and apply glue to all three tabs so we can close it up. Okay, so I'm going to do all three at the same time, and I'm going to take and spread that glue out to the very edge of the box, of the tabs I should say. Okay, and then we'll close it up. Now focus on aligning it with this tab here, and the other tabs will just kind of fall into place. Make sure you get it nice and centered all the way out to the edge. Press it down so it looks nice and seamless. If you need to kind of nudge this wall in a little bit, that's fine. And you can flip it over, and if you can't get your hand in there, I always keep a set of dowels in my drawer here so I can just grab one as needed. I can press down, make sure everything's making good contact, check your seams. Everything looks great. Now what we'll do is throw a little bit of glue inside, just a tiny bit, just a little circle in there. And we have this little piece we're going to pop inside to cover up the tabs, which will also reinforce this little treat box and make it more sturdy. Okay, there we go. Now here's something optional that you can do if you want. You don't have to. You can ink this, okay? So based on the color of this thing, it's got a lot of browns, it's got some pinks on it as well. I think I'm going to hit this with a little bit of a brown ink. I have a dark brown here, and I have a gingerbread here. I'm going to try the gingerbread and see what I get. This is a chalk-based ink, so it's a little bit easier to apply. See what kind of result I get with that. It's a little bit of a lighter brown. And that's okay. I'm not really feeling it, so I'm gonna go over it with a little bit of a darker brown. I like to kind of dab it first and then just wipe some of it off so it's not so strong to begin with. And then I'll just go around the perimeter lightly, hitting the surface and the edge. Just kind of distress it a little bit. Totally optional. If you're making a ton of these and you don't have time to ink, it's not a big deal. And actually, inking that part is almost not really needed. It's just this part here, the bottom and the side, because the record is actually going to sit on top of this section here, so you won't even see the inking up there. So if anything, just do the sides a little bit and maybe the bottom here. I'll do the other side as well. This is another reason that I'm inking this is because this paper that I'm using, I believe it's by DCWV, Very popular paper that you can find at, I think it's Joann's. I'm not sure if Michael's carries it anymore. But not all of it, but most of their paper has a white core. So when you cut it, the middle of it is white. And sometimes that kind of stands out a little bit after being cut. Okay, now to finish this off, we have these little records that we need to put together. There's 2 of them, one for each side. And the assembly is very simple. We're going to put glue on this black piece. Go easy on the glue here, you don't need a lot. And I would focus it mostly around the perimeter, a little bit on the inside. Okay, and I'm just going to line that up with the white portion, and that's just going to help the notes pop through, like so. Just like that. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing with the other one. Now you could totally just make this single-sided if you wanted to, save some paper and some time if you're making a bunch of them. I don't think it's that much extra work to put it on both sides, but it definitely is an option. It'll still look cool. Okay, so we'll put that one in place, just like that, press that down. And then we have 2 of these little center pieces, and I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of ink as well. Typically, when I'm inking, I'll grab a ink color that is slightly darker than my paper. Now that doesn't always apply. There are exceptions to that rule, and this is showing up very nicely. I could have also gone with probably a purple or even a red, like a deep red would have worked as well. Okay, so you can play around with that. One thing I tell people is after you're done cutting these pieces out, you can test your ink and to see what it's going to look like on your paper by simply using some of the scrap that you have left over from the cut. Okay, that way, before you commit to anything and have to recut anything, you can just see what it looks like and go from there. I think this pink definitely works. Gives it almost like a, well, the paper's very, very 60s-ish, very retro. It's got like a hippie vibe to it. And I think, you know, with tie-dyes and stuff like that, he had a lot of bold colors. Okay, I also have this pearlescent orange, and I can either go with an orange or I have like a reddish orange. I'm going to try the orange first since it's lighter, and if I don't like it, I can go over it with something a little bit darker. Okay, I'm testing this out, and you know, it's not really showing up that much. So I'm going to switch gears, and I'm going to go to this reddish orange. And that is showing up much better. Okay, so totally optional, but I mean, it's a simple little project, so you may as well get some inks out, have some fun. It's almost like coloring time. We all enjoy doing that. As kids, we have an excuse to go into the craft room and do some coloring. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on the other one, and then you can glue these little records down flat if you want, or what I'm going to do actually, just to give this box a little interest and dimension, is use some foam squares. Okay, so let me just wrap this up here. All right, and the way this is going to work is we're going to take this, this is actually American Cardstock Blossom is the name of the color. We'll start with the blossom color. We're just going to match this up on the inside. Just match it up with the little circle that's cut out of the center of the record. Just like that. Press that down. Do the same thing on the other one. And then you can fill this thing up with some treats. Popcorn, chocolates, candies, whatever it may be. Okay, there's the other one. And then this one's going to go inside the pink one, or our blossom color. Again, just lining that up with the little circle in the center. Do your best to get that as centered as possible. You know, as advanced as these machines are, I feel like some of them still have trouble cutting perfect circles, and it's okay. It still looks really good, and that's all that matters. Okay, there we go, finishing that one off. And voila. Perfect. Okay, let's put these out, get these out of the way. Try not to leave open inks laying around in case I get my hand in there or accidentally pop the project in there. We don't want that. All right, so foam squares, or you can glue it down. If you want to glue it down, just put some glue on the back of this and line it up like that. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to add some foam squares to give this a little bit of dimension, make it a little more fun, and you can probably get away with less. I always flip it over, just kind of push to see if it's bending too much in any one spot. If it is, I'll add an extra foam square and just peel those off. So it's a pretty cool little project because you get to, you get to pull out some pattern paper that maybe you haven't, it's been sitting in your stash for quite some time. So just get that nice and centered right there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And that will be it. Cute little freebie. You can definitely make up one of these for maybe someone at work or a family member that is big on records, and fill it with some of their favorite treats. And there we go. Just like that. So that's going to do it for our Tuneful treat box. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please head over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, hit the bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new product, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our Records Rock bundle, I'd love to see it, and so would the rest of our community. So head over to your Facebook and do a search for Dreaming Tree Official, where you'll find myself and almost 42,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So again, I had a blast, hope you did as well, and as always, I look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos, and also please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section, where we have over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly videos. I look forward to crafting with you soon.